I was going through general practice residency applications, and every program that you send an application to will send you back a brochure with photographs and a description of the program. So I came out here for the interview, and I was, as I was flying in, I could see the lake and I could see the mountains, and I thought, well, it looks nice. I did the interview, I liked the program, and that was really what brought me here. I thought I'd be here just for a year, and I didn't know I'd be staying here for my career.
I went to dental school in Indiana, came from San Francisco. I've lived in as downtown of a town as there is, and I wanted to live in an area up in the mountains where I could still drive to a big city. I just really like the small town atmosphere. It gives me a place to raise my family in the easiest environment possible.
Okay, you're on your own.
I came to college here, and I loved Vermont right from the start. I stayed after college, as many, I think, people who go to college in Vermont do. There are all kinds of people living here in terms of very talented people who have chosen to live in Vermont for a lifestyle.
We came here originally for our honeymoon, and my husband and I both fell in love.
You got to come out and experience it.
I was looking for a small town, I was looking for a solo practice, one person. So after going through the Dental Society and looking at what was for sale, I began to look at practices. And I came to Virgin's, and what really grabbed me, if you want to know the truth, was the red building on the corner. I liked it. Vermont really wanted the dentist to stay here, so there was a loan incentive program. And so they said, hey, just stay for another year and practice, and we'll help you pay back some of your school loans. And that, at the time, was very attractive to me. And so I signed on for a year. I joined a practice as an associate. Before I knew it, I was looking to buy my own practice.
This practice I'm with is with Northern Counties Healthcare, and this is the dental part of it. We also do medical care and social work and home care. We treat all different ages here, from when you first get a tooth when you're little to the oldest adult that we see. You can do anything from root canals to extractions to implants, so it's not like you're stuck somewhere just doing one type. The patients seem to really appreciate what you do. I think they really know that they need care, and that we're here in a community, a small community, that they don't have to drive to a big city or down the road, that we're here and we're part of the community. Really makes a difference to them.
I practice the full spectrum of dentistry in the most rural area of Vermont. My wife and I work in one of the largest practices in Vermont. I'm one of the owners of the practice. We provide a lot of care to a lot of people, and we employ a lot of people. One way you go to Montreal, you go the other way, you go up to Quebec City. And all of Maine is accessible. I mean, it's just so centrally located. You can get to everything.
This practice was started by Jack Mann back in 1958, and so when he was ready to retire, I bought the practice from him. It was pretty amusing because he worked Friday, and Saturday morning we came in and signed the papers right here in the waiting room at the front desk, and then Monday morning I started working. Hello? Yeah. When I started, the local dentist called me up, we went out for dinner, and that just sort of opened the door for getting to know them, and we have a tradition of doing that when a new dentist comes into town.
I had some options of places to work. I looked at the big group practices in the city, and what stood out to me is that Dr. Dresser was able to take his time with patients. Because it's a smaller practice, it was just him. He was able to do things exactly how he wanted.
Everybody kind of wants to know each other and hang out with each other, so that you do kind of get that professional development sort of thing. and you have people that are have a lot in common with.
The two oral surgeons that practice upstairs, they're my friends. I go duck hunting with one of them and fishing with the other.
In a small community like this, it's easy to get together and communicate and talk about practices, problems you have in practices, questions you have about new technologies. We do study groups, we meet together, and it's really wonderful.
Finding coverage when you're out of town. You can find a dentist to cover you who's 15 miles away.
My sense is that most dentists are kind of closer to retirement than not that are practicing in the state. So there's probably a lot of opportunities, you know, to associate for a little while with the idea that you buy in on a pretty quick scale.
The Dental Society has a recruitment coordinator. He knows who's retiring. He knows where there's openings. He knows where people are just looking to fill in a space. He knows where there's going to be openings for long term. It's a small state, so he's able to coordinate the entire thing.
We don't have a lot of holes in our schedules, so we all do keep pretty busy here.
I was advised by a lot of people coming in as a specialist that it wouldn't be an issue, you know, to start from scratch. We would be fine, and people would send us patients.
A new dentist wouldn't be a threat at all. In fact, it's kind of nice to have newer grads because you learn some new things from them.
To go from, yeah, we got enough, to, ooh, we need more, is a very fine line, and we're walking that line a little too close.
You think that being in a small community there's not maybe as much nightlife or different things, but there's so many different things. There's so many small communities and they all have their, you know, their farmers market or their get-together.
I would say, you know, come to the area and just drive around. And maybe don't plan on buying a practice your first year here. Come and just work for somebody and drive around. And chances are, if you find the area that you like, chances are there'll be somebody selling a practice in the near future.